Alright, you lot, strap in, cause today we're dragging a COD fanboy's dignity through monetised dirt it spawned in. Some genius on internet proudly announced that Activision made $6 billion since Black Ops 6 launched, and reckons that means they won. That you leaving game made it better. That spending money is some kind of flex. Let me be crystal fucking clear. If you're proud of a company making billions while offering less, charging more, and turning your shooter into a fucking catalogue, you're not a gamer, mate. You're a cow bragging about how fast abattoirs running. $6 billion in under 8 months. Off a game you already paid for. And somehow, that's meant to be a flex. Like it's proof of success instead of a giant neon warning sign that says you got rinsed. That money didn't come from innovation, it didn't come from quality, it come from weapon skins, overpriced cosmetics, limited time bundles, and battle passes stacked on top of each other like some Vegas buffet of bullshit. You paid 60 quid for a game, and then they asked for 30 more so your gun could glow, and you said yes. You didn't just say yes, you screamed it with your wallet out like you were proud to be mugged. There's people out here buying packs just to skip grinds that didn't need to exist in first place. Cause that's genius of it, innit? They make grinds shite on purpose, so they can sell you at cure. And more of you that say, it's fine, I can afford it, worse it gets but restaurants. They used to sell games, now they sell illusion of progress. And you're too busy licking shop window to realise games been all a dart and filled with premium currency. What used to be unlockable is now paywalled. What used to be a reward is now a transaction. And instead of pushing back, you treat spending more like it's a badge of honour, like giving them extra cash makes you superior. It done. It makes you an easy mark. You're not target audience, you're product validation. Test subject that proved they can charge triple for a double dip and still get 5-star reviews from dopamine junkies. Your reason restaurants are wading through store tabs just to find a fucking start button. And you don't even care. You're not just complicit, you're proud. You paid for privilege of being milked, and you're standing there with a moustache full of Activision's finest, calling everyone else broke cause we had audacity to say bollocks. You're not defending a game, you're defending your sunk cost. Because deep down, you know you got played. And instead of facing it, you double down and pretend it makes you elite. You spent money, that's it, that's your achievement. You didn't master all, you didn't win all. You clicked a few buttons and bought a shiny skin like a digital toddler with mum's credit card. And now you think that means you've got clout. It doesn't. You're just easier to monetize than restaurants. And if that sounds harsh, good. Cause someone needs to slap fucking glamour off this new breed of gamer that thinks being exploited is a personality. Spending money on a game into flex. It's a symptom. In fact, you're out here treating it like a personality trait tells me everything I need to know. Just say you can't afford it and move on. Mate, imagine thinking criticism means poverty. The only reason someone would push back against a scam is cause they're skint. You're not flexing, you're confessing. You've been so thoroughly brainwashed by monetisation that you genuinely believe financial abuse is a status symbol, that spending extra on shit that used to be free makes you a better gamer. Spoiler alert, it don't. It makes you a predictable one. A consumer so loyal they could serve you dog shit in a loot box and you'd still defend it on Twitter with a receipt and a coupon code. Let me spell this out for you. Spending more money don't mean you're hardcore, it means you've been conditioned. They showed you a game, chopped it into pieces, sold it back to you at 4 times price, and you smiled. They ran experiments on purchase psychology, tested your impulse control, and found your limit. And you're proud of that? You think that makes you superior? They call you whales for a reason, because you're not just part of ecosystem, you're feeding ground. You at revenue model. Your dopamine chasing ass is reason games have storefronts bigger than campaign. Your reason every skin is time limited. Every mode is gated, and every event is engineered to trigger FOMO like a Vegas slot machine designed by Satan himself. And when people like me call it art, you don't think, you don't question it, you lash out, you accuse us of being broke, jealous, or bitter, as if only reason someone won't want to drop 30 quid on a pink AK-47 is cause they couldn't. Not cause it's a fucking insult to idea of games being earned, unlocked, and meaningful. Nah, couldn't be that. Must be poor. You've got it backwards. completely inside out. It's not that I can't afford it, it's that I won't validate it. I won't reward a system built to exploit weakest parts of player psychology. I won't fund another layer of bullshit on a game I already paid for. And I sure as hell won't sit here and let some in-game fashion victim try to tell me I'm problem cause I don't want to be farmed for profit. Spending money on digital crap into flex. It's a fucking warning sign. And if you can't see that, you're not just part of the problem, you're its fucking mascot. You'll even made them more money. Do you even hear yourself? That's not a power move. That's a confession that system don't give a single fuck about player quality or retention. It just wants cash. They didn't profit cause game got better. They profited cause they doubled down on worst parts. And you bent over smiling. You think they wanted you? Nah mate, they wanted whoever stayed. Ones who'll buy skins instead of unlocking them. Ones who'll skip grind instead of getting better. Ones who don't care about balance, quality or community. Just drip-fed cosmetics and manufactured status. That's not a win, that's surrender. That's you becoming a revenue node on a spreadsheet. They don't measure success in fun, they measure it in ARPU, average revenue per user. You're not a player to them, you're a fucking data point. They track your sessions, your spending habits, how long you hover over bundles, how many times you check that store. The A/B test colours and see which shade of orange makes you spend faster. They build urgency into UI. They make timers louder than gunfire. This into game, it's a behavioural science project with guns and gullibility. And they know exactly who to target, because second players like me, players who expect value, challenge and respect, walk away. Floodgates open for whales, for clingers, for fanboys so desperate for identity they'll slap a price tag on it and wear it like a badge of honour. So no, my exit didn't help them. You did. With every purchase, every copium post, every tweet defending indefensible. And let's talk about that store for a second, because it's not just big, it's priority one. You can find bundles faster than options menu. Market tab gets more updates than fucking gameplay. Weapon balance? Rockin'. Matchmaking? Fucking chaos. Bro look, new anime skin dropped. Better cough up another 30 quid for privilege of looking like a tactical Pikachu in a game that can't even register it properly on IP. They built a machine that profits off low standards, and when higher standard players leave, machine don't cry, it celebrates. Cause it don't need critics, it needs addicts. And you're defending that like it makes you a champion. It don't. It makes you replaceable, which is exactly what they want. This is what future of COD looks like if this keeps going. Not just Call of Duty mind you, every fucking mainstream shooter with spreadsheet in the storefront. Cause 6 billion in 8 months is proof that you don't need to innovate. You don't need a campaign. You don't need working hit detection. You just need a battle pass, 3 TikTok dancers, and enough psychological triggers to keep dopamine junkies spending. More profitable this shit gets, worse game becomes. Why invest in maps, mods, or polish when you can sell cat-eared operator skins for 18 quid a pop? Why fix matchmaking when you can shove everyone into loot-driven engagement loops and blame lag on connection variability? Why reward skill when you can sell shortcuts? It's not a shooter anymore, it's a storefront where bullets are secondary. And that's by design. Internal studio memos talk about maximising engagement pathways and segmenting revenue behaviour. Old teams exist just to design grind, not to make it satisfying, but to make it annoying enough that players will pay to skip it. There are staff whose only job is FOMO engineering. Deadlines are built around shop rotation, not bug fixes. This is where your money goes. Not to better games, not to better servers, to more efficient addiction loops, to polish cash funnel. Gameplay is just bait, monetisation is product. You're going to see fewer maps, because they don't sell. You're going to see more crossover bundles, because they do. You're going to see lobbies full of rainbow-wrapped operators sliding around like Fortnite rejects in a game that's meant to be a grounded military fiction. And they'll keep calling it most authentic COD experience yet, while selling fucking Burger Town backpacks and Nickelodeon tracers. You don't even get to own what you buy. These skins, these bundles, this digital bollocks. It's all temporary, bound to servers, tied to licenses. You're buying access, not ownership. And when servers go dark, so does your 300 quid wardrobe a fake achievement. This is legacy you're funding, a future where games are no longer built to be played, they're built to be farmed. And if you think that's fine because you've got disposable income and no standards, congratulations. You're not just buying into it, you're dragging restaurants down with you. Let's read that comment again. You leave him made him more money. We're not, Sam. You're right, we're not. I play games to enjoy them. You play them to justify your spending. I walked away because I saw a scam. You stayed and called it loyalty. I demand quality. You accept marketing. I criticise system. You defend your abuser. You're not consumer anymore, you're product evangelist, brand defender, unpaid shill on a mission to convince restaurants that Cage is actually quite comfy if you close your eyes and pretend real hard. You got fleeced. And instead of fighting back, you bragged about how warm Woolies. That 6 billion, that's not a trophy, that's a warning. Fucking tombstone with Here Lies Fun carved into it. Every quid you spent went into replacing content with cosmetics, depth with dopamine, gameplay with gambling mechanics. You think you're winning, but you're fucking prize. Walking justification for a business model that turned one of gaming's biggest franchises into a fucking clown fiesta or anime drenched capitalism. So where you purchased operator skin like a badge mate, spin in your neon armour and flex your premium emotes. Meanwhile, I'll be over here playing games that still respect me time, me wallet and me fucking brain. Join Discord, follow an X, consider a channel membership. Unless you're too broke like me, apparently. Smash like, hit subscribe, drop your comments and questions below if your wallet still works. And I'll see you next time, you magnificent.